recording it. I hate when it says that.
It's a relatively new thing, I think.
Yeah, I don't like it. So anyways, I got Alyssa Gonzales on the call with me today for a little YouTube interview for your newer agents watching in. So Alyssa, if you could just kind of tell us who you are, where you're from, how long you've been with Symmetry, and kind of like your story before that.
Yep, those are always the most interesting ones to me, I think. So yeah, Alyssa Gonzales, I'm direct to Mark Hamilman in the same master organization as Mason. And I come from, well, I'm in Texas. I come from a small town in Lockhart, Texas. Definitely where I'm at right now is not what I went to school for. Things changed in my last position. I mean, I went to school for sports medicine, acupuncture. I graduated.
So you spent a few years over in China, didn't you, doing that? I remember you telling me that in Cabo when we were scuba diving. So
absolutely.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, went to school there, graduated there. And then I don't know how it happened, but one day, or it was one night actually, I was watching Wheel of Fortune with my grandpa, who is now gone, but it was Wheel of Fortune, Carnival Cruise Lines. I was like, oh hey, I remember they were doing something like work on board, being acupuncturist on board. And so for the last 5 years, I've been doing acupuncture on cruise ships, and then COVID happened. And I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory from there. All the ships parked, which means my job parked. And for me, I'm actually really grateful for COVID. It exposed weaknesses in, in building my life. It exposed weaknesses within other people's health, and it magnetized a lot of things for a lot of people. But for me, it was like, shit, what if this happens again? What am I going to do to safeguard myself and my family? So I looked into other things. I'm a big fan of Grant Cardone. Read all of his books, and it's just what I was reading wasn't in line with what I was doing. And so looking into, I knew I needed to be in sales, because I liked it. I like the environment. It's thrilling. It tells you exactly what you need to do, which is why I like it here at Symmetry. And I just applied for that ZipRecruiter ad. I applied, Mason, I applied for 2 and 3 ZipRecruiter ads to make sure Symmetry got the clue and that I wanted to work there. I mean, the big things right off the bat, I know you're going to ask me this next question, that attracted me to Symmetry was travel. I could work this business for wherever I wanted to. And being on cruise ships and waking up in different countries every other day was a big thing for me. I didn't want to stop it. So I can do this anywhere. I work my own schedule, and the culture of it all. I've always wanted to be somewhere where there's camaraderie. I played college softball, so I'm looking for a team environment, which I do have here. I have tons of opportunities for promotions to work my way up in the company, which is what I have here. And the culture is just, going back on that, that's why
there's a lot of good upwards mobility here. If you don't hit your promotion, that's your fault, not someone else's. What do you feel like? Are there clear expectations in place for you to be successful here, or did you have to find out on yourself?
No, crystal clear.
I think Alyssa lays it out pretty well.
If not, they are even clearer now than when I started. So coming in as a new agent, it's now coming in as a new agent, it is clear as day. I'm not sure. I don't know how else to say that, as to what Symmetry is and where you can go with it. So yeah.
And you're a pretty big producer as far as volume goes. What's been your biggest month here at Symmetry as far as numbers?
You know what? I actually may hit my little personal record for for this month being my biggest month. I get you the exact number here, but before this month it was 23,000. Yeah, I'll get that number here real quick. But yeah, 23,000 before that it was, and that was because another agent challenged me. He said, hey, let's put your money where your mouth is, and I want to see you on the leaderboard. And back then, Mason, writing 12,000 got you on the leaderboard. So, and back then being like September of 2020, that got you on the leaderboard. Now
on national calls.
What?
On the national calls.
Yeah, and then on the national leaderboards, that's what got you
and
on.
See, the only thing I do not like about leaderboards is there is a lot of BS and fluff on there.
Oh
like,
yeah,
won't name drop, but you see some people writing 90,000 in a month and issuing 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some of that should kind of be like fact checked, if you could say. But at a lot of numbers on there are fluff. I think when your PPL and your closing ratio and all that stuff are good, then you should belong on leaderboards. But I'm not gonna promote someone writing $50,000 a week in premium who only issues 5% of that, because who is that really benefiting? Nobody.
Yeah.
But you've been a pretty consistent producer. What does that kind of look like as far as the schedule goes? How many appointments are you running a week to maybe write 15 to 20 something $1,000 a month in business?
Yeah, it's looking like when I first started, I needed to definitely set more appointments than now. I've been with Symmetry since mid-May I got my first deposit from AIG June 1st. So I was dialing pretty much that week before. So it's been a little bit over a year now for me. And now I'm able to be better on the phones. So you can only be better on the phones though if you are on the phones a lot. So maybe about 12 to 15 is what I set. And that's what gets me.
And
about
out of those 15 appointments you said, how many actually show up?
Oh, I would say about 9 to.
So you got a good like 75% show rate, and you're completely virtual though, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm about 90%. If I get old like little Miss Betty and she's in San Antonio somewhere, I'm gonna go drive and see her. My older populations, I absolutely.
In home, it's a lot easier to build that rapport and kind of not force the sell, but you're almost guaranteed to take an application. I feel like in the home. Absolutely,
yeah. It's they're yeah. I mean the objections are cut in half. Well, I mean it's about having real conversations with people, and even this conversation would go a whole lot more if you and I were in front of each other. So yeah. Zoom, it's
well, I'll see you Saturday, so
right. Heck yeah.
And what has been your favorite part of Symmetry? What has been your favorite part of getting to work for this company?
I would say seeing myself evolve and still evolving. And it's weird to say this, but I know that if I'm struggling, if I'm sweating, if I'm crying, if I'm uncomfortable, then I'm right where I need to be.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, if I'm coasting and I'm loving life, and I mean, not that I don't love my life, but if it just seems it's like too easy or too quiet, then you're
not pushing yourself hard enough. You're setting the bar too low.
Yeah, absolutely.
What has kind of been some of your struggles as far as learning to be a good agent, writing more business? What has been your biggest obstacles and hurdles to overcome here?
I would say probably the investment into myself, the investment into my business, and the one into myself, it was remedied. I just needed to read more. I needed to listen more. Um, I needed to know how to talk to myself a little bit better, and I've done that. And the investment into my business, I've always, because I've already always worked for somebody. I've I've never had to, throw five, $800,000, and sometimes more, depending on recruiting. Um,
Like
which
getting your leads and resources that you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I'm interviewing somebody, people say like, do I have to buy leads? Like, no, you don't have to buy leads. You get to invest in leads. Like, you can go bother your family members for all I care, but Symmetry is subsidizing a lot of that cost to make it easier on you to be successful. So do you feel like the leads work pretty good in your favor?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I do work. Um, I do work the other third party leads, I just like to see what else is out there.
Just to supplement, yeah, test the
Yeah.
waters. You might find something
Um,
good that works for you.
yeah, and and I help probably not the same amount of people, but I can tell you that the quality of leads, yes, with Symmetry is, I've sorted through, I think, four other third party carriers pretty quick. I'm on another one right now and just kind of testing the waters, but that's just because I like to do
Yeah, that stuff gets expensive.
it.
Trial
Yeah,
and
and
error.
you're not lying about subsidizing. I mean, a live data transfer call with one company, it was 99.
$100.
Yeah, it was 99, and you would bid on it, so it's anywhere between 95 to $99 a pop.
And these are people who might be deaf and blind, who are reading a Braille book trying to call in about life insurance that they don't give a shit about. And now you're at $100.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pretty much, I've been able to 10x my investment here. If I spend $1,000 on leads a week, I can go write 10,000 in business pretty easily. But that translates in about $500-600 maybe less when you get pretty good on the phone. What's some of what would be your advice to newer agents who want to kind of get going fast and maybe write $15,000 to $20,000 of business like you are every month consistently?
Yeah. One, to listen to your upline, because that's exactly what my upline was doing. He was doing, and he was also saying. But it was myself that was getting in the way in the very beginning. I was only doing maybe 350, maybe $450 a week. And then when I just, bit the bullet and trusted the system, that's when things really started to take off, and I became consistently a better writer. When I thought, eight to nine to $10,000 a month was good. Now
You can blow it out of the water.
yeah, like I bet I have better already had hit 10,000 by my mid-month, and if not, I'm not happy.
Have you noticed a big change in the quality of your life since you've not worked for someone else and started working for yourself since you've been here?
Yeah, I mean, it's now it's probably responsibility. You don't know how much time you don't have during the day. When you do have it, it's so precious. Especially with this business. So yeah, I mean, I've noticed that I'm definitely a better, my calendar looks better, my schedule is better. I used to do my workouts. I think I was talking to you about this. Somebody was doing a workout in the middle of the day. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
No,
that
I
workout
gotta
better
get up like 5 a.m.
Absolutely. That workout better be in the morning. And that, that day. And it also just blows my mind when people think that, do you work out in the middle of the day in corporate America? Like, maybe on your 30-minute lunch, but like you are at work. So that's the main thing I try to focus on is, hey, from 8 a.m. to 7:30 to 8, wherever I'm running, uh, that is working. It's working time. So so that's something I noticed. Personal growth. I've definitely noticed. I've read more books. I've definitely listened to more podcasts, watched more YouTube videos, enrolled in more webinars and things like that. So yeah, I'm definitely seeing a difference.
Do you feel like you have all the training and support you need at Symmetry as far as learning about maybe advanced market stuff, annuities, DFL, whatever it may be? Do you feel like there's enough for you there to be successful if you decide to branch out to a different like lead
Yeah,
source or type?
I absolutely agree that there is, especially since we came out with this new Quility HQ. Um, it's a platform that I'm shocked. It's so easy. And the training, if you don't know where to find it, that is what your upline is for. Your mentor helps you. At least I can account for all the mentors here. They direct, they say, you know what, I don't know about this product, but so and so writes a lot about this product. Here is their number. So yes, there's tons of resources here.
Yeah, I think Melissa has a lot of good leaders put in place that someone can always ask for help.
Mhm.
I know I bother the hell out of everybody, but I'm not the least bit sorry for it.
And you know what? If you absolutely don't find anybody, our carriers know Symmetry and know Symmetry agents, and they take the time for us. I can't say that.
Oh, the sales desk at like
Yeah,
F&G, Forrester's, phenomenal. They
everybody.
will walk you through a whole process, explain every yes, no question.
Hmm.
And it's funny, all these other IMOs boasting rates, compensation levels and stuff, and yet these carriers will say that Symmetry makes them the most money.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's funny how easy it is for me to go out there and replace other IMO's policies with maybe a non-smoking policy through someone else, or just cut the rate in half with an NLG policy. It's so easy to replace business here.
I love a good replacement.
It's funny, like you kind of want to text the person that gave him this policy, but you got to be professional. But it's just funny. Like someone gave this person $200 a month and it should only be 40. That's in the bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can write your own paychecks here. Well, Alyssa, I appreciate you being on with me. Do you have any like last minute advice for any new people from the outside looking in?
Stop waiting. I mean,
Just get into it. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, somebody said it on this last national call. Just to make a mess of it. I mean, that's the only way. I'm a terrible.
See, that is Brian. Dang, what's his name?
You talking about Brian Delaney?
Yeah, Brian Delaney. He said that on a national call when I first joined. Go make it was in February. He's like, let this be the month that changes your life. Go make a mess and be forced to clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
I went out that next month and wrote $40,000. That completely life changing. And just before we get off here, what do you feel like the most important core value with Symmetry is?
Oh, definitely relationships matter. People come first.
All right. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah,
Why is it important to you?
Even if I get somebody that is just an asshole on the phone, like, hey, and that's what I try to do is I try to be as sincere on the phone. And when I started to focus on that, that's when my business shifted. Whenever I slowed my tempo, I lowered my voice and just
Don't give out all of our secrets.
yeah, right.
Low and slow is the way to go. That's for sure.
Yeah, and just talk to they are people, and maybe they had a bad day, and you just kind of just put them to the side and
Caught them at the wrong time. Yep.
yeah, and it's not me. It's definitely not the product. It's not Symmetry. It's just a bad day. And so relationships matter, and goes back to
trying to be that agent that's going to go the extra mile for them. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and they see it. They see it, which is why we replace a lot of things, because they see it.
it's easy to build value when you actually genuinely care about what you're doing and who you're sitting with. No, Alyssa, thank you so much for doing this for me.
It's fun.
All right, me in this.